Hello, everyone. My name is Brendan, and welcome to the Beyond Cinema podcast presented by Neuway Media. We are really excited to be bringing you the first episode where Chris and I basically just shoot the shit and catch up with each other. This first episode is sort of all over the place. We talk about both moving to Los Angeles recently, starting out our film careers here. We talk about networking and some of the amazing projects that our friends are working on out here. We talk about some movies we've recently watched and more. In future episodes, we'll be bringing on guests from all corners of the film industry to talk about their jobs, their journeys, and basically just using this show as an excuse to hang out with all of our friends. So thanks for coming along the ride, and without further ado, here's episode 1. I feel like with Joe Rogan, like when he has his guests on, they're like already in the middle of a conversation, you know?
Yeah, I was listening to Colin Moriarty was on that, and he said that he walked in, sat down, and he was waiting, and Joe Rogan walks in the room and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" and sits down and hits record.
Damn.
And he says, like, within 15 seconds of seeing him, you're already in it.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Like, that he doesn't talk at all before. Like, there's no pre-talk.
That's really cool, because like he probably has so many guests on that he's never met before in
He
person.
says that, like, too many times guests say good things that they don't catch. So he's like, now it's like they can't say a word without being recorded.
Damn. That's crazy.
But that took him years to get to that.
So we both just moved to LA. We should probably talk about that first a little bit.
Yeah.
We were both here before for like...
2016.
God, has it been that long?
Yeah, 2016. January 2016, we were here living in Burbank at the Oakwood. Which,
the Oakwood.
Apparently everyone lives at the Oakwood. I even think like Joe Rogan said he stayed at the Oakwood when he first moved out here.
Wasn't there like a murder there like the year we left?
I think, what's his name? The one dude died in the hot tub.
Somebody died. That's all I know.
Like a singer. A
Holy
singer
crap.
died. Not Ric Flair, because he's not a singer, but I'll think of it.
All I know is like we left and then like a year later someone died. It's just like we...
Slick Rick
in
or
that
something
hot tub
like that.
like we
Slick
sat
Rick.
in, someone died in that. That's crazy. Hopefully we're not wrong about that. We need like a fact checker to just be like Googling shit. I mean, I guess I could Google shit right now.
Yeah, I'm not connected to the web.
It's not called the Oakwoods anymore, right? It's like
No, it turned into like the Toluca Lake by Avalon, and now it's called Ava.
Oh, right. It's just called Ava. Ava Apartment.
Right there on Barn Boulevard.
Burbank.
Coyote
This is
Canyon.
like so unimportant, but now I want to know. Death.
The cat's playing with the lights.
Oh, is he chewing it?
No, he's not chewing. He's just rubbing around.
Oh, all
checking it out. He's all right.
Yeah, he's pretty chill. Like, he's cool.
Well, no, if the light goes out.
First thing that pops up.
Rick James? Is it Rick James?
I'm not sure yet. I don't see any names. I see... No, that's 2007.
It could just be like a legend, like an urban myth.
Okay. 2016. Man found dead in Toluca Lake apartment complex.
When we were there?
November. Were we there in November?
No, we were there in January. No one mentioned that.
30 to 35-year-old victim died of a gunshot wound. It was a murder. I was right. Dude.
Damn, so...
Anyway, I mean, it was a nice place while we were there. Really expensive.
Look at Rick. How did Rick James die?
Rick James death.
It's very important.
Heart attack. 2004.
Did it say where? Did it say he died in a hot tub at the
Oakwood at Toluca Hills Apartments by Avalon. Holy crap. But that was back in 2004, though.
Yeah, Rick James died in the hot tub at the apartment complex we stayed at.
Dude, what the hell?
Apparently everyone went through the Oakwood.
Let's talk about Neuway Media a bit, actually.
Yeah.
What Neuway Media is and what our goals with it are. Well, so... Yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that in the middle of the... People are probably like, what is that airy noise? I was telling someone at this party last night that like you and I, we have this thing, Neuway Media, that we do where we can like take on clients and we can shoot commercials and corporate style videos and marketing style videos. But we wanted an outlet to have more, to use our creative, to have a creative outlet, right?
Yeah.
So that's like why we decided we wanted to do this podcast, and we're hoping to do more original content like short films and stuff. I think I texted you. I talked to John, and he
About Sluggo?
About Sluggo. So we both, how long ago was this? Like at least a year ago, right?
February of last
Just
year.
Just before winter, yeah. Or, yeah, as it was, we were shooting like pickups in February, I think it was.
It might even been like, not last February, but the one before.
Yeah, it was a while ago at this point. It's been, I mean, this always happens with indie filmmaking. You shoot something and you don't hear about it for like a year or two later. And
Every time I talk to Steven, he says it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
It's always the next season.
Yeah.
Like, if I ask him it's summer, it's coming out fall. If it's fall, it's winter. So I don't know. The last email I sent him, he like sent me a gig offer. I guess he got offered a gig, but he's not in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So he passed it on to me and was like, hey, like, they reached out to me. Like, I just CC'd me and like apply to it. And I was like, thanks, finish the film. Like I said in the email, I was like, thanks so much. By the way, finish the film.
Nice.
Like
nice.
I want to see it. I even said, I was like, I'll edit it. Like, give me the footage, I'll finish it.
Yeah, I mean, in like the last cut
it.
we saw, it was like practically done. And I remember there was like one or two like little notes that I had for him. I was like, oh, if you like take this one shot out or fix this one cut, like it was basically flawless.
Yeah, you did some like additional shooting on that. Like I was away and you went and shot some film.
Yeah, like second unit with the Aton.
The Carousel.
Yeah, which is what it's named after.
What we're referring to is there's this like short film we shot back in. Literally, we were in LA in 2016. We came back to Philly, and like that month we came back, we shot this short film, like a period piece, and it's like half shot on film and half shot on Ari. And it looks great, but
yeah, it's like basically one of
still hasn't come out.
Favorite things we've ever shot together for sure. It looks incredible, and I love
pretty
the way,
small crew, but we made it happen.
Yeah,
Christian Strevey was the gaffer.
Yeah. Who
Steven Kraut directed.
I wonder if we could probably. I mean, all of our friends that we have that are like long distance now, we could probably still have them on the podcast and just like record remotely. You know,
yeah.
Especially Christian. I feel like he probably has really good audio gear. He could record his side of it.
For sure.
I want to have Christian on and talk about his web series he's been doing. He's got like 20 some episodes for this web series he just finished. So
yeah, it's done, but that's consistency, man. This kid.
And that's that was
like
the
same
inspiration
age,
for what we wanted to do this and like all this original content. It's like we've got, I don't know. I see guys like Christian, and he's like just
he
killing
basically
it.
did it by himself. I mean, him and Julie. Julie's like
him and his girlfriend
killing
just like
it with all that art department stuff. Just like
two
production
people
design's great.
With like, I mean, they have like a Blackmagic and like an old Blackmagic or the Ursa or something. I forget which camera they have.
I don't know. I know he's like in that Blackmagic track though. He's pretty invested.
Yeah,
in that,
and it's just
system.
them two like doing this amazing web series about.
That's a true filmmaker, man.
Yeah.
He waited for no one, took what he had, came with an idea, and just shot it himself. And it wasn't even getting that many views or anything. He didn't care. He just kept doing it and doing it. That's like true filmmaking. He's not doing it for any gratification except himself. I mean, of course he wants it to like be seen and all that, but
one thing I haven't told him that I was like kind of waiting, hoping that when we do the podcast that I would just tell him is that like, or if he's watching right now, like despite it not having many views, like the quality is amazing. It's like
great.
super entertaining.
He has a great portfolio piece.
Yeah.
Like he shot a show by himself that he created. I mean, again, I shouldn't say just by himself. Like I know.
Yeah, but it was basically them too. We just might as well say, by yourself.
I think he like had, I'm not 100% sure, but I know like Israel and Shaheen.
Oh yeah?
Nice. Because I know Israel started doing not a series of web episodes, like a web series, but he has like a series of short films Israel's been doing.
Oh, yeah?
That Christian's been helping him on.
That's
and
cool.
They're like,
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. A lot of they're not much talking. And they're very short pieces, but they're cool. Israel's another filmmaker. Slumdog, right?
Yeah, or no,
Sundog,
yeah, which was really cool.
It was like
that was years ago too.
Great Depression, like Dust
Speaking
Storm piece.
Of new short films,
piece.
Our buddy Aiden just released a couple hours ago.
Have you seen it?
I just watched
it
it while you were driving here. I just watched it. It's like 10 or so minutes long, maybe 15 minutes long.
Yeah, how was it?
It's called, hold on, I wrote it down. Help Me Feel. And it's like, we've always talked about this. Aiden is such a visionary. He has been, he's helped us on a lot of shoots in the past, doing everything from like camera assistant to gaffer. Like he gaffed our first short film we shot together.
He has an eye.
And he just has an eye.
Naturally.
Like, and
ever since like freshman year of film school, like everything he puts out like just looks pretty quality.
And it just seems so natural to him. But anyway, this is like no exception. It looks incredible. It's in like 4:3 aspect ratio. It's got like this grain.
Interesting.
You know
What
the
made him
grain
choose
he
that?
always uses? He like applies this grain filter and it looks like.
Well, now I have to get
filmic.
Aiden on for sure because now I want to like.
Yeah, dude, we got to
rack
talk
his
about
brain.
this. I want to know how he shot it. He basically, when he posted it, he said like him and his actors. It's basically like two main actors, or mainly one and then a supporting actress. And it was like them three, and they sort of like built the story and all the dialogue together like while they were shooting it.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
what he said in the post anyway. So I'm really curious like what his process was like, because it feels so organic and like the dialogue is so good.
Really?
It's
I'm excited. I'll have
weird.
to watch
It's
it
really
after
good.
this. Yeah, Aiden's always put out good stuff for sure.
So that was incredible. And that was like another one of those instances of just like watching one
These
of
are
our
all
friends.
indie East Coast Philadelphia filmmakers we're talking about too.
Yeah.
This is like a small niche market in Philly. Philly's doing great work. They just need more representation.
Yeah, better tax incentives and stuff, and they'd be
Like when we were in Philly, it seemed, maybe it's because we weren't in it enough, but it seemed like good quality visionaries and talent was like few and far between.
and it's all zero budget stuff.
But like now Philly's like, there's a lot of solid dudes that I know that I could hit up that are going to put out super quality work.
Oh, well,
like
there's
Philly's like coming up a lot.
There's a
with
lot of really
filmmakers.
crazy solid people in Philly, and it's like the same crew that shoots all of the unionized stuff out there, or like Dispatches to Nowhere or Elsewhere. What's it called? Dispatches with what's the guy from How I Met Your Mother? Marshall.
Oh yeah. Jason Segel.
Jason Segel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my brother worked on that.
Yeah. Your
Brother
brother
was a
worked on it.
PA on that.
Yeah, all the people in that show, I mean, they're all the people who shoot all of the stuff that comes into Philly. All those guys are amazing. Yeah, but that's what's crazy about Philly is it's like you get 1 or 2 shows a year or 1 or 2 movies a year, and it's basically the same crew of like 100 people that shoot it. And that's all of Philadelphia. Everybody else is zero budget, no budget, or out of pocket
Yeah, it's tough.
short films.
It's tough. Ad agencies like J2 and stuff, you can get in with those, but
It's right. It's really rare and far and few between. You got to be like already up there, and I guess a lot of small cities are like that. Whether it be like Austin or whatever, it's basically. That's actually okay. That's a good segue into the next subject I wanted to talk about, because like we both just moved here, and I wanted to talk about
again,
what your opinion.
Again.
Yeah, again, yeah. I wanna talk about like do you move to LA or do you not move to LA, and what other cities out there are good, and like does it really matter where you live to work in the film industry, and like all that stuff. That's probably
That's
like
tough.
one of the top questions I get like on YouTube and from other people. Like for the longest time being in Philly, posting like personal YouTube videos, like cinematography advice and shit, and people would like realize, oh, you're just in like Philadelphia or working in New York, like do you get enough work there or whatever. I feel like we should talk about that.
I think, it's tough. If you want to do anything in development, you have to be in LA and New York.
Like elaborate development.
Development is in like pre-production, anything in the office, like putting movies together
Right.
before we go to production, before we're on set. Like all these companies are in New York and LA. They're in Atlanta too, but
Yeah, Atlanta actually seems like a weird half step between.
New Orleans is coming up, or New Orleans, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know the
they have
proper
good tax
pronunciation
incentives
for
there
the
too.
locals, but someone cares.
I feel like they shoot a lot of TV shows out there actually, and it's all tax incentive stuff.
And I know they just shot like the new Jay and Silent Bob movie in New Orleans, and there's like a few things getting shot in New Orleans right now.
Yeah.
Tax credits. LA has all the studios, but I don't think it's like that cost friendly to shoot here anymore.
Right.
So people are like branching out because like places like Atlanta, like we have facilities, come here and it'll be cheaper. Everyone's like, okay.
That's
and they
kind
take
of
their LA crew and fly to Atlanta, and then
Yeah.
they hire locals for like grip and PAs and all that stuff.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on what you want to do, but I mean that's kind of what's scary about being here in LA is on one side of it, we're so used to being in a place like Philadelphia where you could step outside of your door with a red and start filming and no one's going to bother you, or they'll just ask you, they'll just be excited. They'll be like, oh, wow, you're shooting a movie, so cool. In LA, if you step outside your door with a camera and you try to shoot, they'll be like, where's my money, bitch? Like, you know what I mean?
Permits.
Permits, yeah.
Permits. Film LA permits everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of scary and terrifying.
New
It's
York
like-
used to be that way. You used to not be able to put tripods on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like it used to be illegal to put sticks down, but now you can. You're allowed to put sticks down without a permit.
That's
I
cool.
think. I mean, I know you
I've
can
done
put
it
sticks
before.
down without a permit. Yeah, I just shot.
Yeah.
Last summer,
I just
shot,
assumed
like-
it was like breaking the rules, but
No,
getting
I
away with
guess.
it.
I don't know. I don't know if maybe we were breaking the rules, but
Probably
I
a
was
little
told
bit.
we weren't.
Yeah. And we also,
Logistics.
like, it's kind of a cool, I feel like we're in a cool middle ground at this point because we still, like, we are grinding, we are hustling, like, we travel a lot. We don't
Yeah.
mind flying back 6 hours to New York for a 1-day shoot and then flying back here again because it pays the bills and it keeps us busy for that couple days. You know, like, so we still work in these other, like, it doesn't matter. You can, like, not live there and still go work there. I feel like it's harder to say you can live in Philly and go work in LA a lot, but I feel like you can live in LA and go work in Philly a lot, if that makes sense. Because, like, in LA, to get hired in LA, you got to be here. Like, nobody wants to hire out, you know? But I
Yeah.
feel like people will,
Not even that they don't want to hire out, but the gigs turn over so damn
Right.
fast.
yeah, it's really fast.
By the time they're posted,
Like, I need
20
someone
minutes, they
tomorrow.
have so many applicants. Like, you got to really, like, is it cost efficient for them to even use you? Like, why do they even?
And
need
dude,
to?
it's
not
actually
just all
insane.
skill.
Like, if you go on, like, Production Hub or Media Match or whatever, and I've got the premium accounts that, like, let you see, like, how you rank amongst all the other applicants, and it'll say, like, oh, like, this was put up on this job board 30 minutes ago. 50 people have applied. If you apply, you'll be in the top 20% of applications, and then you can spend $2 to boost your application to get noticed more easily. You know,
Yeah, I kind of hate that setup.
but it turns over like crazy.
I just
30
I
minutes,
hate the
100
idea that
people
we have to
apply.
pay to get work. You know, I mean, I get it. These programs like need to make money to run it and all that, but
Yeah, I mean, it's all
Like,
business, you know?
for you to like pay money for like it's like, oh, you could pay to have Production Hub, and then you could like pay money to like get boosted.
It is a little weird because
You have to like get tokens on Production Hub. You get like tokens, and like
Yep.
you have to buy more tokens to apply to things. It's like,
on one end, it makes sense because it's like, okay, they're providing you a service. And
I mean,
on
it
the
cuts
other
down
end,
the
it's like,
saturation, but
on the other end, it's like, well, if you pay more, it's
like
you might
whoever's
get
richer.
hired. Yeah, it's like,
whoever has more money,
yeah,
which like that's like a big problem in our country already. Let's bleed
Yeah, it
into
just
our
separates-
jobs now.
separates people even more. And now in LA, it's like every guy and their mom has a red, you know? And I was just talking to Norman, my roommate, who's a second AC or a first AC, I mean, and he works at Keslow Camera Rentals. And he was talking about like how he basically doesn't even see reds anymore on set because they've gotten to this point now, at least in Los Angeles, it seems to him, that reds are so saturated that they have this stigma to them in Los Angeles now. Nobody wants to use them anymore unless it's like, what's the 8K or like a Vista Vision or whatever, you know? But like all of these, like the Scarlet W's and even the Geminis, like they're all at the, like people will still use the original Alexa Classic XT over a red because it has this like crazy.
I feel like a lot of that though is just like people not being educated or like that. It's like,
well, like I said, it's a stigma. It's like
but at
hate.
the same time, if he says that,
There's
you
nothing
look at
wrong with
all
the
these
camera.
movies in theaters, they're shot on red.
Well, true. Yeah.
Like they're shooting on red on big projects very consistently on just like AK heliums.
No, well, right. It's all AK heliums. Yeah, yeah. And everything else is seen as like people who and us people who buy reds are buying it to try to get a foot up on everybody else. And it's like,
no, we're
oh, if
trying
you
to get
have
a
money
foot up
to
on
invest.
our images.
Well, exactly.
There's too many
that's what it is.
restrictions on other camera systems.
There's the cat playing with the cable again. He's so cute.
He's our gaffer as well, I guess.
Oh yeah, take a photo. Hold on, take a photo. he's got his little paw up on the light stand,
I
and
keep
he's
messing up.
oh my god, he's the cutest thing ever.
But yeah, going back and forth from LA to Philly, like that's the thing. If you're in this to make it, you got to be down to hustle. It's just the way it is. You can argue that it's like, oh, it's so oversaturated. It's so oversaturated. It's like, yeah, but it's also oversaturated in productions being made. Like in LA, like that's all they do. You know, that's all that's happening. And you even see with all these streaming services, all these things have to. We basically have cable TV, except you have to buy like cable TV 5 different times now instead of just once. So we have Apple TV Plus. That's going to need stuff like
comes the
Amazon,
cat.
Netflix. All these people have original content on top of the studios. We haven't.
Now we can see the cat on camera. There we go. This is Jake.
But for instance, for how like the hustle is, so I moved here. I think I left Philadelphia like August 31st. Drove across country. I think I landed in Los Angeles on September 7th or 6th. And then the 7th, I was on a flight back to Philadelphia for a gig.
Yep. Well, that was with me.
Which, like, why wouldn't I just stay there? It's like, because I had to get the move done. It was just timing. So I flew back to Philadelphia, and I was there for like 10 days, and then flew back to LA.
Yeah, so that was 2 gigs, right? You were on 4 days with me for the short,
Yeah.
and then you had another gig right after that, right? Or before, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, no, right after, because
Yeah.
we did the market scale thing.
Yep, yeah, in Baltimore. The spin scooters or whatever.
Yeah.
Down in Baltimore. Then we did that, and then I flew back. And then this one's even crazier. So I'm on a gig right now. Yesterday, I was in Vegas. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Day before yesterday.
Day before.
I had a gig in Vegas, and it was like kind of last minute. So, and hotels were like $400 a night because they had this like huge car convention going on. And I had to shoot this video for Polygon. So I
Polygon, nice.
drove 4 hours. I left at like 4:30 a.m. Drove 4 hours, worked 8 hours, which is like great for a set day.
True.
8 or 9 hours, and then drove like 5.5 hours back because of the
Damn.
traffic. And like that was all in one day, just
For a single day's pay, yeah. And I'm
And
sure
then-
because you were not a local, they probably didn't want to pay you for travel, right? Or were you able to get like mileage or something from them?
Yeah, we're still working that one out. Still working
But
that
that's a
one out.
hustle. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
But then I
pay the
have
bills.
a gig in Philly this week, so I'm flying out Monday morning to Philly, working the 11th and 12th. So fly out Monday, work Tuesday, Wednesday in Philly, fly back to LA on Thursday. Now I'm in LA for 4 or 5 days, and I fly back to Philly again
Jeez.
because I have a gig in New York City, and I have a gig for filming that commercial for Martin Guitars.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, sure, that's a hassle. I could just say, yeah, screw it, I'll just do work here. But it's like Martin Guitars is a brand that I care about and want to do. And it's like, all right, back on a plane to Philly, which is ironic because I moved out here and I'm flying back to Philly like 3 times since living here.
Yeah, it's
to do
weird.
work.
While we were in Philly, we were doing more work in like places like DC and Baltimore and New York.
Yeah.
I only got like one or 2 gigs a month in Philly. Most of my work was not. And now that I'm in LA, it's like, damn, there's all this work in Philly now. It just seems like that's like, it's just fate. It's like, but it's part of it. It's like, it's the temptation,
I guess it's getting busier.
of like, oh, you just got here, but now look at all this stuff you could, if you went back home.
I mean, I'm not cold right now, so I'm stoked.
Yeah.
LA's better.
What is it like? It's
LA
nearly
is
like
better.
80 degrees. I woke up this morning, I was like sweating.
I've done too many years in Philly. I'm okay with it. I have a love-hate relationship with that city.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
30
it's East Coast. I have East Coast pride and all that, but man,
It's gonna be
it's refreshing to be out here.
it's gonna be 31 degrees tonight in Philadelphia.
I think today we're in the 90s and we're getting down to the 50s in the evening. Like, I don't understand this weather here in Los Angeles.
Desert weather, man. It's crazy.
But I can't complain because I wake up to beautiful weather every single day.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
crazy.
just go to bed a little chilly. But it's November. Like, when I fly home to Philly this week, I'm not looking forward to it. I hate the cold. Hate it. Over it.
Yes.
He's just chilling on the table.
Yeah, I freaking love this new cat. He's awesome.
So what have you been up to?
So it was kind of crazy. Like,
Because you delayed. You stayed back like an extra month and a half after me.
I had to delay for a month because this apartment, I had my friends that live here, their room that I was moving into wasn't available for a month after our lease was up. Because we both lived together in Philly. Our lease was up. You came out immediately. I had to delay a month. So I delayed a month and then I came out here. I drove myself across the country, which was really fun, by the way.
It's one of the most therapeutic experiences
It's
I
crazy.
think I've ever had.
And it's funny because like when I was telling everybody, like friends and family and stuff, yeah, I'm driving on my own. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, like, be
Yeah,
careful.
everyone thinks it's like you're a madman.
It's like no, it's like it's a really fun like road trip vacation, like personal healing experience, like, and it's you just get a good podcast or a good audiobook or something to play, and you just listen to that while you drive, and it's like awesome scenery once you get past like Kansas.
Your mind's like stimulated enough from just driving alone, the activity of driving.
Yeah,
Just the amount of thoughts you have though.
Yeah.
It's like meditation. Like,
and I basically
for days.
listen to one Audible book. What's that new? Hold on, I'll The Expanse, which is a sci-fi show, but it was a book first, and now they've got audiobooks. So I listened to the first Expanse book. It's a trilogy, I believe. So, and that was like a 21-hour book, I think, and it's like a 40-hour drive. So like for half of the drive, I was listening to this book, and then I had podcasts and music and stuff.
Yeah,
I camped the whole way across the country. So,
yeah, camping's the way to do it. People don't know about it, man.
It's like
People
I feel
do
like
know
it's a
about it. I
secret
guess I didn't know about it. KOA campsites are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like $30 a night.
Yeah.
They may have like shower facilities. They have little stores there.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of went at sort of a bad time of the year because it was really beautiful weather during the day, but especially as you get further out west and especially up north, like towards Colorado, at nights it's in the 30s. So it was cold.
Yeah, you left it. I left like just in time.
Yeah, you left
like
at the
it didn't
perfect
start
time.
getting chilly at night until I think I was like up near Portland and Seattle.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a little chilly at night, but
yeah, you went way farther up north than me too. Like
I
didn't
went a
direct
crazy
route.
road trip.
Yeah, you went crazy.
I went through Denver. I went to Boise.
It was like a 2-week trip, right, or more?
7 days, I think. Just 1 week.
I thought you were driving for like
ass.
15 days or something.
7 days. I hauled ass. I went to Chicago, went to Denver, went to Boise, Seattle, Portland, San Fran, LA.
I think my drive was like 7 or 8.
Oh, I stopped in Des Moines, Iowa for like
I left
20
on
minutes.
the 23rd and I got here on Halloween.
Sorry.
I got here on the 31st, so I guess that's 7 days, yeah. So I guess mine was 7 days too.
You got here on Halloween?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And then I crashed at Connor's place because my apartment wasn't open until the 1st. So I crashed at a friend's couch, and that Halloween night we didn't do shit.
Honestly, this is going off that. This is what's important. If you want to know where you should live where your network is. Honestly.
True. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
do not alienate yourself if you don't need to. If you have a solid core group of like-minded individuals all in together, if you work together, you can self-start no matter where you're at.
Yeah,
whatever
dude.
you need to do. You just need a bunch of people. You need connections. People move to LA because connections are here and you might not have them in your hometown.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have like such a good thing going and you guys are killing it, like why disrupt things if you're happy where you're at?
I feel like it was perfect timing for us because
Like a lot of Austin has self-starters and they have their own thing going on now.
like all of our networks slowly trickled out here while we were in Philly, and then like once
all of them.
once all of our network was out here, like literally everyone, like one by one, every couple.
Which was ironic because everyone was afraid to move out here, and me and Brendan were like the spearhead of LA. We're like get with it or get out. You know,
It
like
took us 3
hack
years.
it or don't. Like you got to move and you got to hustle, or you're not gonna make it. And then like we started thinking, and we're like, or we could take what we have and like apply it to Philadelphia
Yeah.
and like fill a market need that's like not oversaturated.
Yeah, I
And so
think the
we stayed
lesson
in
learned
Philly.
there is you just need a plan. You know, we had a plan. We were like, well, this is an unsaturated market out here.
And I
We
always
could-
wanted to do New York. Like I
Well,
wanted
yeah,
to work
so we
in
sort of
New
got
York.
to dabble in that experience a little bit. You worked for a month
I
in
did
New
that
York
summer.
on a TV show or whatever it was.
That summer was great. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I lived there for a whole summer.
Yeah, talk
I
about
got to like eat
hustling.
lunch with Alex in
yeah.
the cities. I'd meet up with him for lunch during our work days, and I'd get back to set, start shooting. I loved it. Loved living in New York.
Yeah,
And it was summer, so it was great.
nice.
Winter, I'm sure, is like terrible.
Yeah, but like all of our friends trickled out here, and then once our network had like made that transition, we just followed it out. So we had built this awesome portfolio, saved up a shit ton of money for living in a cheap city, and now we were like ready. So yeah, I feel like if you just have a plan, then you're good.
Yeah, so our first time living here in 2016, we were actually still in school. We
Right.
finished out like our last year.
It was a good way to
college.
experience the city for the first time.
And we're doing a bunch of like internships and stuff. I kind of like went straight to work, like somehow, like luckily. And I ended up like being on a TV show
Yeah.
on Adult Swim. I was like, I literally acted. I was on set as crew, but somehow I ended up in front of the camera. So that was an interesting experience. I got to work with like Tim and Eric a bunch. Yeah, there's just a lot. It's easier to get on bigger things out here, for sure, I think.
Yeah, but what you'll wind up doing is, if you're at the beginning of your career, you can get on bigger things in lower positions. And in
Yeah,
a
be
smaller
flexible.
city, you can get on smaller things in bigger positions.
Absolutely.
So it's just
What do you
it's
want
like
to
a
do?
flip-flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to work on, is just being on the movies that people could see
Yeah.
all you care about? then like you got to move to where that's happening.
Right, exactly.
But if being a DP is all you care about, and it's like, I don't care what I'm shooting, I just want to have good quality cinematic content, and I'm DPing and building my craft, you could do that anywhere. You don't have to be in LA to do that.
Yeah, and that's what I did, what we did.
Yeah, build a portfolio. But if you're down to start at square one and just hustle your way in, like, oh my God, the amount of TV shows and pilots and things that get produced here and get produced in New York, like start PAing.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to be a DP, like if you're a camera guy and you want to be a second or a first, LA is an amazing place. I've discovered just over the last few weeks, like I have so many friends now who they don't have any desire to make that transition to DP. They just love pulling focus, and that's what they want to do the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And they're already getting work on awesome big budget productions pulling focus. It's like, that's so dope. It's crazy.
And then you can get a cart, charge $50 a day kit fee on top of your rate.
Yeah, the guys out here have such good kits. It's crazy. I never realized, I mean, I did realize, but it never really like sunk in how expensive like fizz units are. Like a Preston, the full kit.
Oh yeah.
For
they're up there.
It's
like a Bartek's like $5-6 grand, and that thing's like ancient technology, the Bartek's.
Yeah, I mean,
so
a Preston,
are
which
like
is
upwards
like
10.
peak. It's like 7 for the controller, and then it's like 4 per motor, and then for your the what is it? I don't even know what it's called because I'm not a focus puller. The like the receiver unit for the wireless transmitter is like another couple grand. So yeah, you're looking at like nearly $10,000, or no, nearly
more upwards,
like nearly $20,000 for a Preston follow focus. Crazy. Same with the RE2.
just to cut some latency.
Yeah, like a couple milliseconds.
Uh-oh.
I was in our recording? Shit.
Uh-oh.
What did that happen?
Stand by.
Our camera just, I don't know if it died. Is the battery maybe?
No, the battery didn't die. I don't know. Hopefully we're good. I have no idea.
Well, we
have
always,
audio for sure.
Yeah, we have audio. So if it just cuts to black, we'll just put a little title that says pictures coming back in a couple minutes. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Hopefully it wasn't like 20 minutes long.
Ironically, we have like a monitor to monitor the video feed.
We need a bigger monitor so it's more apparent when it goes black.
Yeah, so what do we want to do? What do we want to talk about? Moving to LA, yeah, do it. If you want to, just do it. While you're young.
Yeah, if you've got the network, if you've got a plan.
This is what I would say. A lot of times you go to film school and you don't really know what you want to do, or you have ideas and you kind of figure it out. Sorry, this is like 2 different ideas I'm about to spit out in a row real fast. But the best thing you could ever do for your career is pick something early and do just that. And like you can plan your track out that way. If you're like shotgun blasting, you're kind of like not giving full attention to the one craft you want to, even if it's like you're not sure. Just like pick one and just like go down that path. You may find your way somewhere else, but like by me choosing DPing, investing full into DP, like it just makes my life so much easier than like, okay, I'm a DP and I'm gonna look at all these like PA gigs and AC gigs and sound gigs and art gigs. Like you won't be able to fully give your attention to your craft.
Yeah, I feel like that's hard advice to give for someone who still has no
figure it
idea.
out.
Like it's good to dabble and to figure out what you're into before, but yeah, try to do your best to figure out what you want as fast as possible. Because if you try to just be generic and be good at everything, you'll never be great at one thing. And there's so much competition in this industry, you've got to be great at one thing. So, but once you figure that out, that's what I feel like. LA is like a place for like, you come here once you figure that out. When you figure that out, come on over. You've got a network, you've got a plan, you figured that part out, come on over.
And then my counter would be, if you don't know, but you think you do, or let's say you're like, I want to be a director. I haven't directed anything yet, but I know I want to be a director, but I don't have any experience, and I'm just going to like wait. It's like, if you want to get in it, like be willing to diversify. It's like a counter argument to my last point. Like if you're out a PA, but you see an art PA position, like try it.
Yeah.
Do it. Why not? Because if you don't have a PA gig, like who cares? Try that art PA gig. Like if you're in the PA world, try everything you can. Try getting into production coordinating. Just try and get on set. That's where you're going to figure out what you like and what you don't like, is by doing these jobs.
Yeah. Or like even
like if you don't know what you want to do. Like I knew I wanted to like visually create.
Or you might discover something you never thought about before. You know, like Dave, our buddy Dave, he I would say he would classify himself as a director, but he takes on other gigs. Like he takes on producer stuff. Like he's a line producer right now for a feature.
I was a set dresser with him. He asked me to like do set dresser, and he's like, I know you're a DP man, but like I need somebody. And I was like, I have the day off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get paid. Like, yeah, I'll come play. Come play and set dress. Why not?
At
least it's like somewhat visual.
It's a fun crew.
Yeah, and I had a blast.
I think it was
and
the same.
Like, I'm still a DP. I'm not like going to be a set dresser, but it's like make a couple bucks, hang out with some friends on set, get to be on set. You just went on set and helped.
Was that the same production that you did, or different production?
No, this was like some
the airport scene,
like Brazilian feature film that had like 3 days in LA. So we were just day players, and they hired him somehow. And then they were like, "Do you have someone else?" And he like reached out to me.
Nice.
He's like, "I know you're a DP, but," and I was like, "I'll figure it out. I'll come on set and play."
Well, that's what's cool about Dave is like it's all because he's from like China. I feel like his whole thing is about like his currency is like favors, you know? So he's like, if you do a favor for me, I'll do a favor for you. That's why I was like so willing to go like help him in second AC for that. Cause like I knew like there we go. Free favor from Dave now whenever I need it.
Speaking of you second AC, this is like also,
which was an awesome experience by the way. Cause it's been years since I've second AC'd.
I was gonna say,
like,
this is also key.
Learn.
It's like you want to build a core group relationship with people. Like you need a team, a small team of people you can rely on. They can bounce off each other, and it's like, sure, let's say I'm a DP and I need an AC. Like, wouldn't it be great to have an AC that also, if he DPs, brings you on to AC, and then you just like always have a network where it's like, okay, we have a camera team that we all work together, and it's like you bring me, I bring these guys, and then when he gets the bigger gig, he brings me, and then it's quid pro quo that way.
Yeah, I feel like that's how this industry works because it becomes like a family. It's such a tight thing.
You can't do it on your own. There's no way.
And everybody has their system and their specific ways they like to work and specific personalities and egos that they like to have on set. Yeah, you've got like the same core group. You know what to expect. Or when I say ego, I just mean like ego or lack thereof. You know what I mean? Just like whatever your level is, you want to be working with people at that same level as you, that same mentality. So you have that you're on the same frequencies, the same vibes. Yeah, that's super important. You got the same couple people that you work with all the time. And we've been doing that for years, Like when I DP, you AC for me. When you DP, I AC for you, and just like that.
And it can be a slow climb. Like, because again, it's like no matter how good you are.
It's a career. It's not a job. So it might take you 4 decades to get on the gig you want.
That's a really good point. A lot of people, they graduate college and they want, like, I'm a DP now. I need to get into it. I need to get started. And it's like, you may have to work your way in there. And that's okay. Like, someone that graduates with a business degree isn't running a company right away. Maybe they are. Maybe freaking, just like someone may DP a feature film right out of college and then they're in all the way. But
I remember hearing that
be patient.
While we were in our entertainment industry perspectives class. I forget what guest came on. We had like a guest speaker one day, and I remember he said that. He was like, I forget who it was, damn it. Maybe one of the directors or something. And he was like, this is a career, it's not a job. I've always had that line in my head now.
Yeah.
It was a hard bullet to bite to hear like, oh shit, he's right.
It kind of messes with your head because we all talk about gigs, projects. Like it makes it feel like, oh, job to job. It's like, no, all these little jobs it's just a different way, but it's still all your career. You're building all one resume.
Yeah.
Even though you're working for different people, the main company you work for is your own brand.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term,
just that lesson that like it's a process and you don't need to you're gonna work to. You don't want to already be at the end of your career when you're 25. Like you're at the beginning of your career. When you
want to be like Roger Deakins, still like out there shooting.
Yeah, like you don't see any 25-year-old Roger Deakins out there. Like he's in his 80s, I think probably, and he's at the level where he's considered one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Even the example I love to use is Bradford Young, where he blew up in the last like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
probably.
he did.
But he's 40.
Did he do Rogue One or Solo?
He did
one of them.
He did Solo. Yeah.
Solo.
But he
That's
blew
cool.
up. Like he did
Solo
Ain't Them
great.
Body Saints or I forget if that was his first or second feature he did with this one director. And then he did Selma. I think it was that order. Ain't the Body Saints and then Selma with the same director. Mm-hmm. Selma blew up. It like won awards. And then suddenly he got Arrival. And then because that was like a sci-fi, and Arrival blew up and did really well because that was with, what's the director's name that did Blade Runner and...
Not Ridley Scott.
No.
You mean 2049?
Yeah, 2049. That's gonna bother me. But anyway, so he did Arrival. That was like his third big feature, as far as I know his filmography. And then right after that, he got Solo, and he blew up, and everybody was like, "Oh man, who's this new young DP who's like blowing up?" And everybody loves him, and he's like winning all these awards. He's 40 years old. Like it took him until that to get to that stage. So it's like, yeah, all right, I'm 26. I'm not Bradford Young yet. That's okay.
It's kind of cool that age is it's not like with acting talent where it's like everyone's like fiending over the youngest DP in the market. It's like,
yeah,
your career, like, I mean, in this industry, your career could start late and end super late. You could do it till you die. Most directors do. Yeah. I mean, you look at Ridley Scott. Granted, he was working in the industry, but he didn't direct his first film until he was in his 40s. That was Alien.
I feel like George Lucas is the one exception to that. He was in his 20s when he did.
Well, that whole Zoetrope, like, everyone was old back then. They were the only young dudes, like Coppola, Spielberg, all them. Well, he wasn't Zoetrope Spielberg, but they were the only young dudes back then.
Like especially Lucas, he was in his 20s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's the bummer with him, though. It's like so much potential. Just like I know everyone like hates the prequels or whatever. I
still love the prequels.
They don't bother me, honestly.
It's all a perspective thing. They're old movies.
Sure, they have flaws, but like so does the original Star Wars. Like we got to get over that. If you watch the original Star Wars, there's plenty of boring.
And there's still
like not that great moments, but they're amazing. It's okay.
There's still like so many things, especially about like Phantom Menace, like so many revolutionary things he did with that movie, with VFX and shooting it digital, and Jar Jar Binks, like the first fully animated CG character. Like
despite him being him, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Lucas.
I'm just a fan of his whole vision, just Lucasfilm in general.
I have always been inspired by that core group of filmmakers from like the 70s and 80s, like Spielberg and Lucas and like all those guys with like that idea of like classical cinema, especially Spielberg with and Star Wars, but like Indiana Jones. Like those movies are the ones that inspired me to be a filmmaker. And I so desperately want to do like, I don't know if it's like a short film or I mean, I guess it would have to be a short film because we don't have resources for anything else. But like, I want to make a movie that gives you that like nostalgic childhood feeling of like some sort of like action adventure family movie, like a feel good movie, but that also is like incredible cinema. You know what I mean? I want to do that so bad.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, like the budget I came up with Human SB is like the lowest we could do that everyone would be satisfied is like $250,000, which is like cheap. Astronomically cheap.
Yeah,
for a feature film. That's like with favors and everything. Like I couldn't feel right going less than $250.
Yeah, with everybody.
I was in like New Mexico working on that Big Kill feature.
Yeah,
which is on Netflix if you want to see it. I was the second unit DP. I wrote down like a napkin at a coffee shop and like my one day off, and I like did the whole budget.
I remember you sent me that picture.
To Human SP. I still have it.
Yeah, nice. Cool.
I wrote on a napkin like it was cliche.
Yeah,
it was intentionally cliche.
Yeah.
So I could be like, one day.
So for
I'll
reference,
be able to say I wrote this down on a napkin.
For all of our listeners, we have this screenplay that we've been writing for years. It's still not technically done, but I mean it's sort of in a workable state. But it's titled Human SB, and
it's a trilogy series.
Yeah, technically it is, but it's like our passion project. Our dream is to like direct and film and like DP that movie and like get funding.
Honestly, we should do a short. Like in the world.
We need to.
It doesn't even have to be part of the script. Just in
like
the world.
A short based on like.
It could just be following one of the
Even that would be expensive because like if we were to do it, I'd want to do it right. I'd want to like full costume. We'd probably go back to Philly to shoot it. You know, we'd need the right locations.
But like, what if the Century? Like we just follow them. Like maybe that's a lead.
Hold on, don't like spoil anything.
Yeah. But I'm saying just one of them. I don't know. Kind of look at it like THX.
You gotta watch
1138.
Yeah, you gotta watch Aiden's
new
short film. The way Aiden did this new short film, Make Me Feel, it's like almost an experimental vibe like THX.
Love
that it's like this one guy, we're following him around. He's sort of like narrating his internal monologue, like his thoughts, and it seems like he's speaking to a therapist or something.
Yeah.
And so it's like all of his like mental, conscious like struggles, but like vocalized, and the visuals that are paired with it are incredible. But it's so like everyday, like not monotonous, but it's like he's just like smoking a cigarette, walking down the street, like shopping for clothes. Like it's nothing crazy, but like visually the way it works is so good. But anyway,
I'm excited to see it.
yeah, the reason I bring it up is because it's like that sort of like indie style of like visual storytelling would be so cool to do in a sci-fi. I feel like, you know, something that where just like you're living in the space and the character is so intriguing, and you're like waiting to hear the whole movie. You're waiting to hear like what was the inciting incident that made this guy so fucked up, like why he's struggling so bad, and then it like holds off like for like 10 minutes before you sort of figure it out. But I think that'd be cool.
That's tough. Like,
we definitely need to make a short film, and we have the network now. We have all the friends to help us. Like I was just talking to Sammy Bagelman at that party I was at last night.
oh, she was there? I haven't
Sammy
seen her
was
in a long
there.
time.
Yeah, like we've got lots of friends now.
I did
to
the
help
short
us.
film Rosalind, which it is what it is. And
That was the first short we ever did together. It was nothing special, but
but she was like an AD on that. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's the last time I seen her other than when we graduated.
Damn.
How's she doing? What's she up to?
She seems great. She and all of her friends, like her roommates, just finished the second season of a web series that they produced.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
didn't
I
even
see.
realize they shot it on like an Alexa Classic. Like, I don't know, they had a budget to shoot it on an Alexa. I know they did like an awesome crowdfunding campaign and they got funded for 2 seasons, and right now they're working on funding for the 3rd season. I've seen a couple of the episodes and they're cute and funny and cool. But yeah, it's like crazy. I thought it was like a much lower budget, like lower scale shoot, and then I find out like they've been shooting it on Alexa and stuff. It's like, oh shit. Not that it looks bad,
Yeah.
but don't know what that sound was. Weird neighbors.
But
yeah, so
Yeah,
I think they're doing great, and they've her and her friend Cassidy have been like producing it, crowdfunding it, and getting all the money, and they've been shooting it, so they're really excited, I think.
yeah, everyone out here is like doing something,
Yeah, I think so.
basically. I don't know any of our friends that came out here and they're homeless.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Like if you're looking for a silver lining, it's like, don't worry, you're not gonna be homeless. Well, you might.
I mean, I guess you can. There's a huge homeless population, but
If you're not like a drug addict or
Yeah, don't live beyond your
or
means.
a veteran or something like that, then you'll be fine.
yeah, the whole veteran thing is scary. I'm a veteran, so I guess statistically I should be homeless.
You have no combat wounds, so you're good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's seeing movies nowadays. Oh, you saw The Lighthouse. How was that?
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up.
Because that
Actually, I was
reminds
just
me
waiting
of,
for the moment.
speaking of like auteur experimental, like that makes it, that seems
Yeah.
like a piece of cinema. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it, but
that's the exact perfect way
looks
to describe
weird.
it.
And weird is cool.
It's super weird and cool. That's like the best way to describe it. You haven't even seen it.
Is it Robert Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson and the guy
William Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe, and
Willem Dafoe.
both of their performances were amazing.
Really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
especially Willem
that.
Dafoe, in my opinion. Well, no, Robert Pattinson did great too, but his character wasn't as like crazy eccentric and like.
I'm surprised they cast him.
But it worked
cool.
amazingly, and it actually gave me more faith.
4x3 black and white, right?
Yeah, dude. I don't know what camera they shot on or like what film stock or anything.
That's funny if they're screening this in IMAX. It's just like a 4x3 and all this black space on the large screen.
But like, and even the way it feels like everything about how they produced it was like old timey cinema, but like really clean. Like it wasn't like, obviously it's new film, so it's not like it's not like it looks deteriorated. But that's it felt like the experience of like if I was going to a movie in like the 20s or even earlier, like watching a brand new film just made. It feels like that's what it would have been like. Like the way they did the audio and the sound design had that old school like analog feel to it.
It's awesome.
The way they shot it and edited it was exactly like the way they would have done in the past. But I did notice like there were some shots where like really long dolly shots. There was this one really crazy long dolly shot where basically, they have this lighthouse and then there's this sort of like hallway building. I don't know how to describe it, like a tunnel type of thing that connects the lighthouse. Like it's like 100 yards long down to their like where they live. Mm-hmm. So it's like this really long, and it has these little windows, if I remember correctly. I think it does. Mm-hmm. But basically, they have this one crazy long dolly shot where the camera is like outside, and he goes in the door, and the camera is like following him outside. He's like climbing on these rocks. He goes inside the building, and then the camera keeps following all the way across this like long building to the lighthouse, and then I think it like jibs all the way up the lighthouse. I forget, but it's like this crazy awesome camera move that like it definitely doesn't feel like something they would have done in the past, where they have humongous cameras that it's like really hard to move them around. But besides certain shots like that, everything else was shot like sticks, like really not too much crazy movement, and just like that old school feel. The way they lit it, everything, it almost felt like Tri-X-Rosa, like it was really contrasty, like harsh shadows. It felt like, dude.
My video game
was so
background,
good.
every time I see anything with a lighthouse, I just want BioShock. Like that would be my passion project. Like if I ever made
They probably will. It's Hollywood. They'll
if I
eventually
ever
make a live
made it,
action.
I would want to adapt BioShock
Yeah.
into a feature film and like do it right.
Yeah.
Not like these video game movies. Like make it like, we have like the BioShock structure, but we don't like we're treating this like an original piece.
Yeah, if you could do it. If you didn't
But
have
not
Hollywood
not
producers
like
breathing
what they
down
did
your
with
neck.
Resident Evil, where like it doesn't connect with the
Yeah,
game. Like
that
I would
was,
try
like,
and
not
recreate the
even-
actual story of BioShock
Yeah.
as authentically as possible. It's just such a beautiful world. That's what it is. It's just such a great world to be in.
That's what it is about
Rapture
filmmaking.
in Colombia.
It's the world building that's like my favorite part of it, you know?
And it's a
All-
period piece,
True.
which is amazing.
Yeah. I feel like period pieces are like, I for some reason gravitate to them a lot.
Well, I think that's because it's a period piece, you're forced to take the time. Not that these other films aren't taking the time, but you're forced to. It has to
Consider
be
more
cinematic.
details.
Like your attention to detail can't be compromised.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it can be, but it won't work.
Right.
So something about these period pieces still make it feel like old time cinema when you see them done right,
Yeah.
shot right.
That's
It's-
something I kind of learned about, or not learned, but sort of realized about like Roger Deakins. Like a lot of so much of what he's shot has been period. Like
I love it. I love period pieces.
like the new like 1917 period piece. I guess everything except for Skyfall.
I'm so
Country for Old
confused
Men,
because I
maybe that
thought
wasn't
Daniel
period piece.
Craig was like done as Bond. Wasn't that like the
I
whole
have
thing?
no idea what's going on with that. I feel like there was like
And like now there's
controversy.
another Bond.
Yeah, I still haven't
Money
seen
talks,
Yeah, money.
I guess.
Yeah, well that's
It's like
probably
I quit. We'll give you more. I'm doing another.
All right. Let me hit the gym real quick. But yeah,
I
like
heard they're trying to bring Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine.
oh my gosh,
They're just
They-
like, you
they
know,
don't know
it's
what to
best if we
do.
just get him again. After Logan was great.
Logan was great, but then after
I didn't see those
the-
ones. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, after the last one they did, everybody hated it. They're probably struggling to figure out.
Movies
what
are
their
weird
direction
now.
is.
It's like all about money. It's always been about money.
I mean, yeah, it's always been.
but I get it. Like
we're
it's
just
an
now
investment.
realizing it because we're getting to that level where
I get it's an investment, but you see like fewer and fewer directors, no matter what their reputation are, like they can't do what they want anymore.
yeah,
Like you see legit directors who are very successful getting thrown off projects because they're not doing what the EPs want
Disney
them
has
to
done
do.
it how many times already in the last couple movies?
Yeah, it's
firing
kind of
directors?
scary.
It's crazy.
Like these are auteurs. Let them make their art.
It sucks, but that's something like
Like
it's a
Tarantino
business,
somehow
you know?
he could do whatever he wants. He's like
well
one of
because
the few.
it's oh no, it's not his own production company.
No,
is it?
I mean he was with the Weinsteins forever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he branched off them after incidents, obviously.
By the way, that was really cool seeing which
Pulp
movie?
Fiction?
I always blank on the
25th
name.
anniversary Pulp Fiction at Tarantino's
And it
New
looks
Beverly
amazing
Cinema
in 35
on
millimeter.
35 mil.
It looks so good. That was a weird theater too.
It's almost like a screening room. Like
yeah.
where they would do Q&A or whatever. Like you're at a studio
What's it
screening a
called?
movie.
New
Beverly Cinema.
New Beverly Cinema. Yeah.
And all his tickets are like $10 or under, unless you're seeing his current film, which Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that's like $15 a ticket. But all his other, $10 a ticket. Saturday matinees is like $6. He does like cartoons, Saturday and Sunday cartoons in the morning. He plays
That's so
for like
cool.
hours.
That's the
I
type
think
of
like
thing.
the popcorn and snacks like $2.
Only in LA, man.
$2, yeah.
Only in LA.
And he comes in and does like Q&As for his movies like randomly.
That's so cool.
Like after we saw Pulp Fiction, there was like an overnight line, and it was like there's a special event tomorrow, and you don't know what it is. You just line up and buy tickets at 7 a.m. We didn't, but my friend Jake Richardson did. He's in Jane Silent Bob. He's like the $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. He's the one that asked for.
Yeah.
Let me get a nickel back.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
friends with that dude, and he went and got the tickets at 7 a.m. and he saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with a post Q&A with cast and crew. Tarantino.
That's so cool.
It's dope.
Yeah.
And it's been out
Tarantino's
for a
my hero.
while, and he's still like. It's just cool that like we have real directors still out there that could do whatever they want. Like Spielberg's one, Scorsese.
Yeah, definitely Scorsese.
But it's like the window's narrowing. Like these dudes like are grandfathered in to
Yeah.
doing whatever they
Yeah,
want.
these guys
It's like
are-
scary to see what these new directors are coming up because it's like you see dudes that are killing it, and girls, not just dudes, but killing it, and then now it's like it doesn't matter. Once you're on the big leagues, like Disney owns you. You know, Fox owns you.
Yeah.
Well, Fox is Disney now.
It makes
Disney
me,
owns everything.
it makes me think of James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy, you know? Like he made 2 amazing Guardians movies that everybody loved, and then there was like some controversy about a tweet he did, or I forget what it was. And they like fired him, and everybody got mad, so they hired him again.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what's going on with that.
Controversial tweets of the past that you can't get over. Can't
Yeah.
move past.
I don't know, but Lighthouse was really good.
great.
It gave me this feeling leaving the theater, just like that awesome inspiration you get when you leave a really good movie, that like the feeling of just wanting to make something.
What we're talking about now is really important because we work in film. We're talking about film. That's one thing you will get in LA. You will get.
There's
you're
something in
film.
the air.
Everywhere you
here.
go, people are talking about movies, talking about what they're working on. You're just in the mindset. It's so much easier to be successful in your career if every day you wake up to it.
It's like vibes.
Like if Philly.
There's probably enough space for you there. They can probably get through.
Someone's coming in the door.
Welcome. Come on through.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
Come on in. Now you're good.
You got space?
This is Norman. I think he's appearing on camera.
What's up, dude? Long time no
What's up,
see.
man?
How you been?
How you doing?
Good, man.
You guys are also recording?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
doing a
recording right
little
now.
podcast
We're
real
probably
quick.
wrapping this up soon.
Is there go through?
Yeah, come on through. Here, wave to the camera. Say hi. That's Norman.
What did we
I
work
mentioned
on
you a couple
recently?
minutes ago.
In Philly. Didn't we have him on something in Philly?
He was
Oh,
on Carousel with us.
that's right. Steven Kraut's Carousel.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago. Or, yeah, we had a pickup scene like a year after we filmed it, and now it's been a year since that pickup scene. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry to
think that
call
was
you
back
out
in
so much, Steven,
2017.
but I want to see this film.
Yeah, dude. I feel like that's probably a good place to end it. First episode, and then for future episodes we
ultimately-
want to bring on guests, more people to talk
Yeah,
to.
yeah, this was kind of just a crapshoot. Episode 1, it's going to be
Yeah.
a mess. We'll find our craft and narrow it down, but ultimately, like out here, you wake up in it, and in Philadelphia, you don't. You really don't. You wake up, and you have like one career of a million
Yeah.
out there, and I mean, everyone thinks you're cooler doing
That's true.
film on the East Coast because it's like
This
not
is
that
rare.
common.
You know, people think like, oh man, they're shooting a movie on this corner. Like, here's my big break.
You're just with way more like-minded individuals to springboard ideas and just be in it. Like, just the amount of movies I've seen just from being here. You can sign up for these things. Do you know about this? GoFobo, I think it's called.
Never heard of it.
I get free screening passes emailed to me several times a day.
Yeah.
To see free movies on like Sony Studio lots,
GoFobo?
Fox Studio lots. Sometimes they pay you. Like it'll be like, here's a
Oh,
movie.
I've had
You'll
from
get
this.
a $20 gift card if you come sit in. I used to do it in Philly.
Yeah.
And it's like their test screenings.
Yeah.
They bring you in, you just your test audience. You go watch these movies for free, and sometimes they'll even pay you to just be a test audience for a feature film.
That's cool.
You
There's
should
so
look
much
into
stuff
it. GoFobo.com.
going on
Sign
like
up.
that.
They just email you.
Sweet.
All right, well, we're in LA, and I don't know where you're at, but you should get here. It's warmer during the day.